Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to continue our lessons about the global strategic management. Our topic today is about the global innovation. As we know, the ability to create and quickly diffuse the new products and process is one of the main benefits of the global management. The ability to create and quickly diffuse new product and processes. So this chapter will look at the evolution of the management, innovation and research and development within the multinational and the global companies. We will learn in this chapter about the logic and limitations of the international product life cycle, and then the different design of the global research and development networks, and also to understand the different management issues in the global management, research and development, and the issues of the international transfer of technology and the knowledge management and the recent developments toward the meta-national management of global knowledge creation, and finally the issues concerned to the international protection of the intellectual uh, property as closely related to the innovation and research and development in the global companies. So our chapter is divided into five topics. We will start today about the international product life cycle and the global research and development network. Then we'll continue in our next lessons about the international technology transfer, global knowledge management system, and the intellectual property rights. Let's start with the international product life cycle. Products are like people, have a life cycle. So the product is a life cycle is broken into four stages: the introduction of the product, the growth of the product, the maturity of the product, and the decline of the product. As people, also when you're born, then grow up, then reach the maturity, and then start to be older, and so on. You can see from this chart the four stages of the product life cycle, or the life cycle of the any product. So this concept is used by the management and by marketing professionals. Why? It is used as a factor in deciding when it is appropriate to increase the advertisement, to reduce prices, to expand to new markets when you reach the maturity and so on, or redesign the packaging and design of your products. So the process of making strategic ways to continuously support and maintain the product, this is called the product life cycle management. So how product innovations and production migrated from country of origin, which is innovated in this country by innovative firms, to other countries' subsidiaries. We have three stages. Stage one, the innovation of a product. Innovative firms create new products and processes in their country of origin and advance it in the mostly in advanced industrialized countries like United States, Japan, and so on. This is the first stage of the innovative country product life cycle. Second stage, at the foreign production. Second tier country subsidiaries receive the products or the process of making this product from the innovators and produce them for local markets. This is the second tier country product life cycle. The third stage is the transfer, which means that developing countries, the other countries' subsidiaries receive the products and the process of producing this product from innovators and produce them for local markets and also for the global markets at low cost. As we see, for example, for iPhone, مثلا, is innovated by Apple in the United States, then it's transferred to second-tier countries for the subsidiaries of this company in European countries and so on to produce for the local markets, and then it is transferred to a developing country at this time, like China, for example, to produce or mass production for the local markets and also for the global markets, and at a low cost because of the low cost of the resources or the labors and so on. So this is the international product life cycle stages as we illustrated in this the later figure. So this is some criticisms to this approach, as in spite of its simplicity and appeal, theory failed to explain the globalization of innovation which took place after the 60s and so on. So despite the fact that the research and development resources are mainly concentrated in developed and industrialized countries, there is no longer a major difference between United States, Japan, Europe, and so on. So today, a large variety of products are developed globally for world markets and launched at almost the same time in the key countries of America, Europe, and Asia and Pacific. So the migration of the research and development and the production centers doesn't necessarily follow the sequential evolution predicted by this theory. Many research centers, so what is the alternative? Many research centers are set up where scientific and marketing resources are available, and the global companies use what is called now the global research and development networks. Global research and development networks to develop the world products, as we will see in the next topic, the Global Research and Development Network in details. Let's start with a case or example for a worldwide global company like Nestle. As we know, the management of global research and development networks needs three basic elements to adapt, like the structure, the system, and also the people or the culture. Before go deep in these details about these three elements, the structure, the systems, and the people or the culture, we will study the case of Nestle, and then we will see some learned lessons from this. As we know, Nestle is the second largest food company in the world, and its portfolio encompasses a large group of products, including leading brands such as Nescafe, also brands for ice cream, water, Pure Life, Nesquik, chocolate like Kit Kat, and many other brands and products. So this Swiss multinational corporation, Nestle, was one of the first to expand its operations worldwide. And they have many subsidiaries and operating units in tens of countries and brands grouped and many product categories and so on. So the food processing technologies in our study call for competencies in multiple scientific domains such as the nutrition, the plant sciences, the food preservation, and biosciences. So this all needs research and development and so on. Since its origin, Nestle has been a leader in the research and development sector, with laboratories at first located in Geneva and then in France, and now there is we can see in India at this picture and many research and development laboratories all over the world. And over the years, Nestle had acquired companies around the world, both companies in different countries, and through those acquisitions inherited research laboratories. On the top of this, the international expansion of Nestle led the company to create some research centers in countries where nutritional habits were quite different from those in Western Europe. And at the end of the 80s, Nestle had 13 technical development centers located in 13 countries, and now there are more and more. In 2000, Nestle Research and Development Network that we are going to study now comprised the Nestle Research Center in Lausanne, 8 product technology centers, 2 regional adaptation centers, and around 480 application groups located in Nestle factories worldwide. So, from this case, we can see that the way Nestle manages its R&D centers across the world is based on two main principles. First, the central coordination, and second, the decentralized R&D activities. The central coordination of research programs and efforts includes three things. First, the central planning of technical conferences and personal transfer. Also, the regular trialogues between, we know trialogues is like dialogue, but dialogue is between two parties, but trialogue is between three parties. So they have regular trialogues between researchers, marketeers, and manufacturers. Why? To enhance the symbiosis or the mutualization between them. And third, they have visits to local research centers. So this is the centralized coordination. There's also the central monitoring or control of progress reports sent by the local research companies to the headquarters or the central laboratory. Then we have the second approach, which is decentralized research and development activities in the local centers or the local research companies, which includes the running as profit centers located near manufacturing center, performing development work on products, processes, and systems, involved in research planning and budgeting, and also they are linked with local universities and technical institutes. So the corporate research strategy to prevent the duplication of efforts by the availability of these local centers or local research companies in different regions or different locations. And we can see from this figure, as we illustrated now, the Nestle global research and development architecture, as we just explained. So what is the benefits of this approach of the global and research and development network? We have four main benefits, like the proximity to markets, which means the ability of global firm to adapt or to create products fitting the local customer specificities, and also the access to geographical clusters of knowledge creation and development, like the universities, suppliers, researchers, startup firms, venture capitalists, and also third, the learning or the experience. That's the ability of global firm to leverage the local knowledge across subsidiaries and cross fertilize this knowledge within a global network. Fourth benefit is the access to low cost and good quality scientists and engineers, as the development of, for example, Bangalore as a center of computer software, or the science parks of Singapore or Taiwan, and so on. So this is the main four benefits of this global and research and development network. But there is two main constraints also. First, we have the critical mass constraint. Critical mass constraint, which means the exit when one activity, in order to be performed efficiently and effectively, needs to mobilize a minimum amount of resource. As the research activities belong to this category, scientists and technologists are not only inventors. They need to benefit from the complementarities of colleagues in their field as well as in related domains. They also need assistance from technical staff, and they use more and more expensive laboratory instruments. Second constraint is the communication constraint, which are due to the overwhelming evidence that innovative activities require face-to-face informal communication. Innovation also is based on a combination of well-defined methodological procedures as well as ill-defined tacit intuitive intellectual process, personal encounters, and conversations among researchers. So now we have four types of research centers. First, the research laboratories. These research laboratories are in charge of long projects dealing with new technologies or scientific discoveries that are not necessarily related to a particular product. Those laboratories are global by nature and are most often, but not always, located near the corporate center. Second type is the development laboratories, which in charge of projects whose objective is to lead to a product or process innovation. You can see the difference between these types. Three is the supporting or adaptive units, which provides product or process of production adaptation according to the local context. And the fourth type is the scanning units, which monitors the technological development and contributing to the knowledge platform of the company. So the way these units are set up and organized depends upon the global evolution of the firm over time. That usually follows the pattern shown later. When the company is past the stage of central R&D activities, the local laboratories are set up in order to provide local products or process adaptation. In the third stage, centers of excellence that can specialize in basic research or certain products or process applications are established in innovative resource-rich countries. So, a networked organization is established to organize the exchange ideas, technologies, people, and information. And we see that Nestle, as described earlier, has reached this stage. So, the evolution contains these three stages. The first stage is the central research and development lab. The second stage is this setup of the local laboratories to provide local products or process adaptation. The third stage is the establishment of centers of excellence specializing in basic research or process applications in innovative resource-rich countries. We can see from this figure the central lab, the local adaptation, and the center of excellence, the three stages of evolution over time of the global research and development activities. Now, the management of the global research and development or innovative networks requires adaptation in structure, systems, and people and culture. Okay, so the maybe we can continue this takes more time, so we will continue about these in details about structure, systems, and people in the management of global research and development and innovative networks in the next lesson, because it has more details and needs more time to explain. So for now, we studied the evolution, the different types, and the according to the study of the case of Nestle, we know the different two principles that they are adopted: the centralized coordination and the decentralized activities, and also we know the benefits of the global R&D network and the constraints of this approach, and the different types of research centers, and also the three stages of evolution of this approach. And at the beginning, we talk about the product life cycle management and the hierarchy of the product life cycle, how it is started and introduced in the market, and then growing by time and make more sales and profits, and till it reach the third stage of maturity, and then start to decline, as we can see in many examples and many products. They reach the peak, and in one time the market may be saturated and start to decline and disappear in the market. So maybe because they have or they had to innovate or develop their products, and also maybe because of the competitors, they have new products in the market or more innovative products, and so on, as we can see in the mobile phones industry, when the iPhone is developed and so on, a lot of other products declined, like BlackBerry or maybe other brands, but there is some other companies or other brands like Samsung, Huawei, and so on. They started to innovate and make a lot of effort in research and development and so on. This make them more available in the market, and also maybe the way of expanding, as we are talking about the global corporations, the expansion in a new market. If the local market is saturated, maybe the company or the brand expands in new countries, in new markets, and so on. So they find a new customers, making more sales, making more profits, so still exist and still available in the markets. So in next lessons, inshallah, we are going to continue in details about the global research and development network, and especially on the structure and the systems and the culture. Okay, see you next time, inshallah, and goodbye and good luck.